Hey everyone, welcome back to Key to Learn English. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Ryan. Today's episode might be the most useful one we've ever made, because we're not teaching you grammar rules, we're just having a real, natural conversation.
That's right. If you listen to this from start to finish, you're going to hear about morning routines, work small talk, restaurant English, and even how to talk about the weather like a native speaker.
So relax, get comfortable, and just listen. Your brain learns a language best when it's not trying too hard. Trust me, it's working right now, even if it doesn't feel like it.
Okay, Ryan, let's start with something we both do every single morning. What time do you actually wake up?
Don't judge me, okay? Fine. 6:30. My alarm goes off, and I hit snooze at least twice before I actually get up.
6:30 isn't bad at all. I wake up at 6, but only because my dog decides that's breakfast time whether I'm ready or not.
A dog alarm clock. That's actually more reliable than my phone. What's the first thing you do after you wake up?
Coffee. Always coffee. Before anything else happens, because I genuinely cannot form a full sentence until I've had at least half a cup.
Same here, honestly. I make my coffee, and then I take a shower and get dressed while it's brewing, so I'm not just standing around waiting.
Smart. Do you eat breakfast, or are you a skip it and run kind of person?
I used to skip it, but now I make oatmeal with banana most mornings. It gives me energy, and it's fast enough that I'm never late.
That actually sounds really healthy. I'm more of a toast with honey person myself. Simple, quick, and it makes me happy.
There's nothing wrong with simple. Okay, let's slow down for our listeners for a second. Repeat this with us if you can. I wake up, I drink coffee, I get dressed, and I eat breakfast.
Perfect. Now think about your own morning in English while you keep listening. What's the very first thing you do when you wake up?
So, Sarah, once you're actually at work, do you like small talk with your coworkers, or does it feel awkward?
Honestly, I love it. A quick, "How was your weekend?" or "Did you catch the game?" makes the whole office feel friendlier right away.
I'm the opposite. I need my coffee in hand before I can talk to anyone. Otherwise, my brain just isn't online yet.
That's fair. What's a normal thing to say to a coworker in the morning for people who are still learning English?
Something simple works best. Good morning, how's it going? Or, hey, how was your commute? You don't need anything fancy, just friendly.
Exactly. And if someone asks you that, you can just say, "Pretty good, thanks. A little busy, but good." Short, natural, and it keeps the conversation moving.
One more useful one. If a meeting runs long, you might hear someone say, "Sorry, that meeting ran over." It just means it finished later than planned.
Good one. Small talk like this might feel small, but honestly, it's some of the most useful English you'll ever learn, because native speakers use it constantly.
All right, let's move to something everyone loves. Food. Sarah, what's your go-to order at a restaurant?
Anything with pasta, honestly. There's something about a good plate of pasta that just makes everything better.
I'm more of a spicy food person. Anything Thai or Mexican, and I'm in. But let's actually help our listeners with the restaurant English itself.
Great idea. So imagine the waiter comes to your table and says, "Good evening, can I take your order?" What would you say?
You could say, "Yes, I'd like the pasta, please," or "I'll have the chicken, please." Both are polite and completely natural.
And if you want a drink, you'd say, "Could I have a glass of water, please?" That little word, could, makes it sound extra polite.
Let's actually try it. Sarah, you be the customer and I'll be the waiter. Good evening, welcome. Can I take your order?
Yes, thank you. I'd like the tomato soup to start, and I'll have the grilled salmon for my main course, please.
Excellent choice. And would you like anything to drink with that? Still or sparkling water?
Still water is perfect, thank you. See, listeners, that's really all you need. Polite, simple, and clear.
Exactly. Practice saying, I'd like, I'll have, and could I have out loud right now. Those 3 phrases will get you through almost any restaurant in an English-speaking country.
Okay, Ryan, let's talk about something Americans and Brits both love to discuss: the weather. Do you check the forecast every day?
Every single day, without fail. If it says rain, I bring an umbrella. If it's sunny, I somehow still complain that it's too hot.
That's so relatable. If someone says it's supposed to be cloudy tomorrow, that just means clouds are expected. Pretty simple, right?
Right, and if it's really wet and sticky outside, you'd say, it's so humid today, which is common in the summer, especially in places like Florida or Texas.
And when you can barely see because of thick fog, you'd say, it's really foggy this morning, drive carefully. That's a great one for road trips.
Weather talk might seem boring, but honestly, it's one of the easiest ways to start a conversation with a stranger in English. It's low pressure, and everyone has an opinion.
Totally agree. Next time you're waiting in line somewhere, try saying, "Can you believe this weather?" to the person next to you. It almost always gets a smile.
It really does. Small talk like that opens the door to bigger conversations, and it all starts with something as simple as the sky.
Speaking of low-pressure topics, let's talk about free time. Ryan, what do you actually do when you're not working?
I read a lot, honestly, mostly mystery novels and thrillers. There's nothing better than a book you genuinely can't put down.
A book you can't put down. I love that expression. It just means the story is so exciting that you keep reading instead of stopping.
Exactly. I also play chess online sometimes, against people from all over the world, which still feels a little magical to me.
That is pretty amazing when you think about it. I'm more into photography myself. Nothing professional, just my phone and a good sunset.
A phone photographer, huh? What do you usually take pictures of?
Mostly nature. Flowers, the sky, my dog when he actually holds still long enough. It makes me notice little details I'd normally walk right past.
That's the thing about hobbies, isn't it? They slow you down. My grandmother always said gardening was her passion, and she meant it. She grew tomatoes every single summer.
A passion is exactly the right word for that. Something you genuinely love, not just something you do to pass the time.
Right. And speaking of passing time, can we talk about phones for a second? How many hours a day do you think you're actually on yours?
Please don't make me answer that. Honestly, probably 4 hours, between messages, emails, and scrolling through videos before bed.
You're not alone. Most people are somewhere in that range. I try to charge my phone in the kitchen at night, just so I'm not scrolling in bed.
That's such a good habit. It's funny. 20 years ago, people used paper maps and payphones, and now this one little device does everything.
It really does. My only rule is, use the phone. Don't let the phone use you. Balance is really the key word there.
Well said. Okay, on that wise note, let's move into today's word tour before we run out of time completely.
Okay, one more topic before the word tour. Health. Sarah, do you actually exercise regularly? Or is that a New Year's resolution that quietly disappears by February?
Very rude, but also very accurate for most years. This year, though, I've actually been walking almost every morning, and I genuinely love it.
That's great. I go to the gym a few times a week, some weights, a little cardio, and yes, the treadmill, where you run and somehow go nowhere.
The treadmill really is a strange invention when you think about it. Do you enjoy running, or do you just push through it?
Honestly, I don't love running, but I do love walking, so that's what I stick with. The key is finding something you enjoy, not something you force yourself to hate.
That's such good advice. I try to eat a lot of vegetables too, and I always carry a water bottle. Apparently, we're supposed to drink about 8 glasses a day.
8 glasses does sound like a lot, but if the bottle is right there next to you, you end up drinking more without even thinking about it.
Exactly. Small changes really do add up. Even 10 minutes of movement a day is genuinely better than nothing at all.
I completely agree. And when work gets stressful, walking helps me more than almost anything else. It clears my head in a way sitting at a desk never does.
Stress is such a universal feeling, isn't it? Everyone listening right now has felt it at some point, no matter what language they speak.
Definitely. So if you're feeling stressed today, maybe this is your sign to take a short walk after this episode ends. Just 10 minutes, nothing dramatic.
I love that idea. Okay, we've talked about mornings, work, food, weather, hobbies, and health. I think we've basically covered an entire day of English.
We really have. But let's squeeze in one more quick topic before the word tour. Travel. Sarah, where's the last place you traveled to?
I went to Italy last spring, and honestly, I'm still thinking about the food. I'd go back tomorrow if I could.
Italy sounds incredible. Did you plan out a full itinerary, or did you just wander around and see what happened?
A bit of both, actually. I planned the big things: flights, accommodation, a few museums, but I left plenty of room to just get lost in a city and explore.
That sounds like the perfect balance. Do you usually book your accommodation ahead of time, or do you like to figure it out once you arrive?
Always ahead of time. I'm way too nervous to show up somewhere with no plan. What about you? Do you have a dream trip you haven't taken yet?
Japan, honestly. I've wanted to go for years, and every time someone tells me about it, I want to go even more.
You would absolutely love it. The food alone would be worth the flight. You should start building that itinerary sooner rather than later.
Maybe next year. Okay, one travel tip for our listeners before we move on. Always keep your passport somewhere safe, and always double-check it before you leave the house.
Such simple advice, but so easy to forget in the rush of packing. All right, now let's really get into today's word tour. 8 useful words from this episode, one at a time.
First word, colleague. A colleague is someone you work with, and you'll hear it constantly in any office conversation.
For example, Ryan is my colleague, and we record this podcast together every week. Simple, and something you'll use often.
Next word, deadline. A deadline is the date or time when something must be finished, and yes, it can definitely feel stressful.
Like, my deadline for this project is Friday, so I really need to focus today. We've all said that sentence before.
Third word, commute. Your commute is the trip you take to get to work or school, whether that's by car, bus, or train.
For example, my commute takes about 30 minutes, so I usually listen to podcasts on the way. A great habit, by the way.
Fourth word, forecast. The forecast tells you what the weather will be like, usually for the next few days.
The forecast says it will rain tomorrow, so don't forget your umbrella. Always worth checking before you leave the house.
Fifth word, humid. Humid weather means the air feels wet and sticky, which is really common in summer.
It's so humid today that my hair won't cooperate at all. Anyone who's spent a summer in the American South knows that feeling.
Sixth word, itinerary. An itinerary is your travel plan, the list of places you're going to visit and when.
Our itinerary for the trip includes New York, Boston, and Washington, D.C. Very useful if you love to travel.
Seventh word, accommodation. This means the place where you're staying, like a hotel, an apartment, or a hostel.
We booked our accommodation for the trip last week, and it looks amazing. One more word, and this might be my favorite.
Last word? Habit. A habit is something you do regularly, almost without thinking about it, whether it's good or bad.
Drinking a glass of water every morning is a great habit to build. And that's our word tour, done and dusted.
Before we wrap up, here's a quick learning tip for you. Studies actually show that listening to natural conversations, like this one, helps your brain absorb rhythm and pronunciation faster than studying grammar books alone.
That's so true, and it's exactly why we make these episodes the way we do. Real dialogue, real pace, real expressions, nothing robotic or overly simplified.
So even if you didn't understand every single word today, that's completely fine and, honestly, expected. Your brain is still learning patterns in the background, even when it doesn't feel that way.
Exactly. The best thing you can do is come back and listen again tomorrow, because consistency matters far more than perfection ever will.
Now it's your turn, listener. We want you to leave a comment below using one of today's new words: colleague, deadline, commute, forecast, humid, itinerary, accommodation, or habit.
Just write one sentence with any of those words, in English, and don't worry about making mistakes. That's exactly how you improve.
We read every single comment, and honestly, some of our favorite moments come from seeing how you use these words in your own life.
So scroll down, pick a word, and give it a try right now before you forget. We genuinely can't wait to read what you write.
That's it for today's episode of Key to Learn English. We hope your listening skills feel a little stronger already.
Remember, you don't need to understand every single word. You just need to keep listening. A little bit every day.
If this episode helped you, hit that thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time to join us.
We'll see you in the next episode. Until then, take care and keep learning. Bye for now.